Together, we can.
Well, guess who's back on your screens? It's me, Nanatifo, and we're here to serve you nothing but the best of entertainment right in the comfort of your homes. This is the Upside Down Show on City TV, brought to you by
Vodafone Ghana. Together we can. Now today we're going to have a beautiful conversation. One woman who has so many parts, and trust me, at the end of the conversation, you would have picked something. Don't go nowhere. Grab something that really makes you be at ease. And when we come back from the break, we got a show.
Coming up on the Upside Down Show, we have a conversation with Member of Parliament for Ketu South, former Deputy Minister of Tourism, actress and Queen Mother, Honorable Abla Dzifa Gomashie on the show. She speaks on tourism, growing up and her inspirations on the show.
This is Fact Finder from the BBC.
We live in a world where news travels fast, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate fact from fiction. Fact Finder brings fact-checking from the newsroom up close so you can separate truth from chaff. Be empowered to tell what's fake from what's real. Watch Fact Finder by the BBC on City TV every Wednesday at 6 p.m. City TV. It's your world.
You're welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show on City TV, proudly brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. I am super excited about today's show.
Well, I am excited. I have mixed reactions. You know, when you have your mother at home, you are excited at the same time. You have to really be steady. You know, now this mother we are going to be talking to, there are other sides to her that people may not know.
That's true.
You know, she is extremely, the key word is extremely disciplined, very principled, you know. And so when she comes, I'm going to tell her my very first experience with her. I wanted to go back home at the University of Ghana.
Some of us are privileged to have benefited of that level of discipline.
Oh, yes.
And today we are applying it, and it's been good for us. I mean, it's been great.
I mean, that's the truth, because today when I see doing productions, you know, producing stuff, my mind goes way back to University of Ghana, some in 2002, 2003, with the kind of leadership that we had from her. And I think that anybody who comes across her will have something extremely positive to say. And so will Ghanaians. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is the beautiful, the royal, the MP for Ketu South, the honorable
Yes.
Gomashie. The drums. You know. The drums to be honorable.
So worth celebrated. I mean, from gracing our screens to fashioning out policies at the Ministry of Tourism, and now sitting in the House itself, the legislature.
And she's a queen.
Oh boy.
Not by
Can I
wayside
start
queen.
taking the collection?
Oh, it will come.
It will come.
It will come. It will come.
I don't know
actually,
how
we owe you.
Yeah.
But first of all, let's find out how to call you on this show. Because I'll do my mamaga here. Now you are honorable.
It works. And
I will use my Auntie Dzifa. Yeah.
So do your mama, do your Auntie Dzifa.
And somewhere in between, you throw the honorable.
And between God and I, it's Abla Dzifa.
Well, that's between you and God. Auntie Dzifa, I don't know how you do it, but how have you been able to sustain yourself right from when I knew you on TV, and then I met you in University of Ghana. The very first time I met you was, wherever I go, I say this. I'm sure I've said it to her a million times. So the first time I met Dzifa in University of Ghana School of Performing Arts was your production. I think you were the stage manager. And my friend Vera and I were the only level 100 students in the production. So we're very excited, So we go there and we're like, from one for us, and you come home, we are in the thing. And the woman came and was like, will you stop talking? We are doing serious business here.
Hello.
Then I felt like, hey, that's cool, you need to hear it. Anjifa, by the grace of God. And even after University of Ghana, you've really been a mother to me, you know, and I'm sure to many other people, because there are certain times that she'll hear me do something and she'll pick a phone and call and want to know what is going on, what is happening. So I explain myself to her. And then she goes like, okay, so you should do this, you should do that. And I've always taken her advice, and it's really worked for me. Anjifa, thank you very much.
And God bless you.
So, but let's go back to who you are. So if you have to describe yourself, what would you say?
It terrifies me to do that, actually.
Wow.
That's the answer.
But we love for you to share with us.
I'm terrified of me.
We want to share your terror.
Well, I believe that. I believe that. Because if I am supposed to say something about you, I think the first thing I would say is she's a disciplinarian, you know, a very principled woman, and very affable at that, you know. But maybe there are things that we don't know, we can't say, that you can tell it better. And I'm sure people who might not understand who you are might take things differently.
Which is also okay, though.
Okay.
Oh,
Of course, we can't please everyone as well.
Yeah. Right. So with that, I think we can go back to who Dzifa Gomashie is. How did you start life? I mean, your very formative stages.
So I think that it's the generation in which I was born, and the opportunities that I was exposed to. My mother was a teacher.
Okay.
My father was in the army. So I was born in Burma camp, Reki. I was born in Reki. When she retired, she went into trading, into sewing, to... she was very principled and reminded us that she birthed us. So we couldn't get away with much.
Right.
Even though our father was in the army, he was cooler.
Okay. Than your mom?
Yes.
Wow.
And then I went to St. Louis Secondary School, where I'm a Catholic, by the way.
Okay.
So I met Reverend Sisters and many more Catholics. And you know, the Catholic Church is like the army. It's very regimental. It's very structured. Then I met President Rawlings of blessed memory. In 79, he came on the scene and saying things and doing things. I'm thinking, wow. And I was a very young girl, you see. But I saw the likes of my late maternal uncle, Kofi Ashboy-Mensah, and all these Kwesi Butchie, the Ahoy brothers, Mrs. Rawlings, Cecilia Johnson, Mrs. Hazel, Auntie Sheriaite, Grace Omabo, Adra Bankwadodu GBC, Ifo Sutherland, Auntie Joyce Ayi. I met all these people as a child. And the things they were saying and doing, I just used to get glued to the television just to hear them speak. And then I happened to be in Talents Theatre Company that had Kofi Portofi in there, David Donto in there, Abia Dachi's sister Marvin in there, Edina Matachi in there. I saw these people, and all I wanted to do was be them.
Wow.
And thankfully, I was involved with them in plays that were revolutionary, were about African heroes and African sheroes. So it shaped my thinking of what I can become.
Okay.
So let me just say that to answer your question, I'm just a blessed woman who met the right people at the right time to help me become who I've become.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because at age 9, I recall that my mother, and I've said this many times, that my mother reinforced in me that she knows this child of hers likes dancing.
Okay.
And encouraged me to do it. She didn't stop me. She pushed me to do it, and in fact, sometimes helped me to sneak out of the house so I can go, because my father is the one who didn't quite get it. being military, being Catholic, being an Anglo man, wanted a certain pathway for his daughter. But my mother understood that this is who she is, and that is empowering for a child.
Yeah.
So to meet all these women in theatre, in literature, Amatedu, reading her books, her plays, it put in perspective for me what I didn't even know that I was.
Yeah.
So the passion and the talent is there from birth. But reading about the things that these women wrote and these men wrote and how they spoke and how they dressed and all, so influenced me that the empowering from home versus with what they gave me is what you see.
Right.
So looking at the names you have mentioned is a combination of the arts and politics. So at that stage when you were watching them on TV, wanting to become that, how was the journey like? You know, what did you do to imbibe all that to becoming who you are today?
Accepting that there are people already in the space that I wanted to go into, for me, was very important. And my mom, bless her heart, wherever she is, always said that, so anyone who saw the sun before me, I was encouraged to respect. So in my home, for example, my mom would say, I'm a gahona noina devina bobo, meaning the older person should sit and let the child squat if there are not enough seats. So these kinds of things were things my mama taught me, or us, my siblings and I. But I didn't know that I'll be sitting in parliament. That was not part of the deal. I mean, you could be a politician in different spaces, as these women did. They didn't lose their calling or their profession or their occupation. They had that, and then they did politics. So for me, it was using whatever position I was in, as you saw in school. There are many people like you who say these things to me about how.
But today we appreciate what you went through. Today we honestly do. I'm sure maybe people I work with might also be saying this about me. That you know, when you are doing production with Gomashie, this is that.
You haven't heard.
Oh, really?
Okay. Let's continue the show.
No, so this is the foundation. So today I'm you know, disclosing my foundation to you. That's why I learned that from.
You know that it was not out of malice.
At all.
It was never out of malice.
No.
It was just to let, you know, we go to school and it is not as if you can remove the school from the rest of who you become. It's an integral part of it.
Exactly.
So don't come to school and think everything is entertainment. No, it is that and more.
And more,
And I felt as if it was my responsibility. Nobody asked me, but you all are my younger sisters or children. It was my responsibility to let you not miss the step.
True.
Because I remember I had made my mistakes already. And if I see you about to fall inside, I think it's just unchristian to watch you go and fall into the same thing.
True. That's true.
Everybody said, oh, she's smart. She speaks well when I was a child. But I went to St. Louis Secondary School. I don't know what happened to me between Form 1 and when I left Form 5. I ended up failing my first O-level.
Wow.
And it's not because I wasn't smart. Look, from class 4 first term, I went to class 6.
Okay.
Do you understand? So I didn't do class 4. I didn't do class 5.
There was a leap.
There was a jump. Class 6, I wrote... the JHS had just been introduced. We were in Gomashie. I was 9. I wrote and passed that JHS exam. And yet, I went to St. Louis and I dipped.
What happened?
I don't know. Perhaps I also go through that so I can make sure you don't fall in.
Exactly,
So you all come to School of Performing Arts to train to be creative artists. It does not mean that the course itself is a joke. So when I see you playing with it, it used to traumatize me that they were not taking it as seriously as they should.
That's true. So
I just thought that, look, they are going to do what I did. I went to St. Louis, crossed my legs and read Mills and Bones. And the exams came and I had a shock. I mean, like, But anyway, I was 11 when I went to St. Louis Secondary School.
Oh, but that's not fair.
Well, so
You were too bright, you know.
well, no, not really. I mean,
No,
so it was a traumatic experience being moved from Accra into Gomashie. When I'd lived all my life with my parents.
Okay.
And there's 8 of us.
But how
I'm
did
the
that
6th
happen
one.
though? Was there posting?
So there was a posting to Ashanti region.
Okay.
And even though we had just come back to Accra, we had met the headmistress of St. Louis Secondary School, Marie de Rose, bless her heart. And she was so impressed with me that she told my father, this child of yours must come to my school.
Oh, wow.
So fate and destiny sent me to St. Louis.
Okay.
But I got there and I took the concept that was in my home to the school.
Okay.
I don't think I was prepared enough for the environment I was going into. There may have been somebody it's possible somebody was even younger than me in St. Louis at the time.
Okay.
Maybe Mami Sewa was also as young as I was, my girlfriend Mami Sewa.
Okay.
So they did amazing, but the transition from the child I was at home to the child who was thrust into those days I used to think they thrust me in the bush. I was born by the seaside, and then they take me to St. Louis, not the Gomashie that you know now. Like you could drive for hours through the bush.
You don't see a house.
You don't see anything.
Yeah.
And then the school is in the beautiful greenery area,
Yes.
and nobody came in, nobody went out. We were just in there with the brothers and sisters. It was traumatic. I couldn't adjust easily.
Yeah.
So I think it affected me academically too. But because I failed, I knew better
Yeah.
to get back on track and rewrite the O level and finally get myself to university.
And eventually you did good.
So, I tried.
Right. So we're looking at how you started out as an actress. What was it like for you? Is it something you had always wanted to do?
I'm not sure that that's all I wanted to do. But I knew that I loved to dance.
Yeah.
And I had gone there with Gloria, and I've told the story many times though. I went there with Gloria Fori and to watch her perform in Talents Theatre Company. And it wasn't that I went because I wanted to be a part of it.
Okay.
But eventually going with her again and again, then the interest was there. But they didn't put me on the stage immediately, excuse me.
Okay.
They cut me down there, handling people's bags and carrying. I used to carry Mami Dokno's things.
Okay.
She used to drive a Mustang, a white Mustang.
Oh, wow.
Hey, 2-door.
Wow.
This is 1984.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah. So I used to follow these older, well, they were not that old at the time, but these
seniors.
mothers of mine around. I followed Talent Theatre Company for about a year before they finally put me on stage.
Okay.
Wow.
So what was your first role? What was the first
To
thing?
dance.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Your passion.
My passion.
Exactly.
And it wasn't even Agbaja. I went to dance Adoa.
Oh, wow.
No, but I mean, you can do
Yeah, well, I do all of them.
everything. Yeah. So
Yeah, so it was to do the role of a dancer in a play. I think it was Black Star. I think the Black Star. And the Black Star was about Kwame Nkrumah, Africa, and all of those things. And so somebody who had that role didn't show up.
Okay.
And they were trying to figure out who would fill the role. And Gloria told them she can do it.
wow.
And they put me on stage, and here I am.
Wow.
Awesome.
I mean, as destiny will have it, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
Of course, right.
As fate will have it, yes.
Right. So this, and then you came to performing arts.
Oh, well, there was a long gap between then and when I came
so
to performing
before
arts.
coming to the University of Ghana, run us through some of the things that happened.
So I used to, well, did you know this? Drum roll. I used to perform with Obra,
Wow.
Auntie Grace Obra.
Really?
Yes.
As what?
As a creative artist, as a dancer, as an actress,
Okay.
all of that.
Whoa.
I was,
this we
between
didn't
17,
know.
18 years old at the time. And so they used to do live performances. And sometimes she carried me with her.
Okay.
And she was very protective of me. If we arrived back in Accra very late, she would take me to her house. Then she lived at Pamwan Junction.
Okay.
So I'll be in the back of the Mustang with her driving. and we'll go to her house because it's very late, and then in the morning she'll
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then also I had opportunities to perform with Nafti in the student productions.
Okay.
And a few foreign productions also came. Cobra Verde, I was in Cobra Verde, and one others. These are a long time ago. I can't remember all these things. I was able to save a little money from that, and rewrote the O level and did the A level. And my cousin, Histaku in East Legon, also is into batik making and sewing and so on. So that's why I used to sell batik in school at Legon.
Yeah, yeah.
So even as a student, I was entrepreneurial. I used to take her things from her, sell them, give her money, or pocket my change.
It's necessary.
And so I was able to, do all of that before.
Yeah, well, what you are saying, you are really an arts person, through and through.
Listen, I've even fried kelewele and made goat lice soup in Trinidad and Tobago. I used to sell it.
No, but you owe me Bankubi.
Oh, no, you see, you have just embarrassed me. If I owe you something, it should be Banku. She wants to shame me cry and you're fine cry. Banku. Oh, what is that?
I take it back.
But Babaga, so what was theater like when you were on stage?
That's where my passion was unearthed. I love the interpretation from the pages. We give it life and we put it on stage. And for a young artist like me, we weren't that many. It was me, Edina Matachi, Millicent, Awuku Mensah, Yvonne Aitia, Sylvester Mensah. You guys don't kill me.
What,
yes, how many Sylvester Mensah I got?
No, I don't want to be sure.
Tony Letha. Tony, please don't kill me.
Whoa.
David Kujoji, don't kill me, guys. But these were young students. They were.
What was Brereveson part at that time?
No, he came later.
Okay.
So for me, it was being with these people who all had passion, and the leadership of that group was just great. Kofi Portofi, bless your heart. I mean, Ernest Young Man, who was official cameraman for President Kufuor. So all these people were part of talents, and even though we weren't paid, it was, you see, that's where I think it came from. It's their fault, don't blame me. So we were not paid, or at least I was not paid. I don't think Gloria was paid. But the commitment and dedication, rule at that home. When we see Mr. Portofi's car coming, we run. You had better not let him catch you outside. When you should be changing and exercise, doing your breathing exercises and your stretching and everything before the rehearsal started. The discipline that went with it. This was the Jerry Rollins era, you see.
So it cut across, you know.
See, the thing was that, like, it was so serious that if you're running later, your heart will be pounding. Meanwhile, it's a sacrificial thing that nobody was paying
for it.
I don't recall ever receiving 2 CD self from all that work, but it was training ground into maturity. For me, it was my puberty rite. It was my rebirthing. The charismatic will call it what?
Baptism.
Born again.
Yeah.
I was born again with in that period. And so reading those plays and giving it life and performing and having the likes of Nana Benin Datsun, Anime Lachon, Auntie Joyce, you come to watch. And the journalists those days used to write about it. You want to behave so that when they review your work, you know you have arrived. So that's the regime under which I did theatre. And somehow, and I still feel like that towards film. I still think theatre is a more difficult task than film. Because film, you have opportunity to do a retake. But stage, Hey, what? I recall that I was on stage with David Donto and Amama. No, Amama. One of those women. And we forgot the lines.
Wow.
And we see when you forget the lines, the prompter can be saying it so you hear. Yeah, I said you be not know. It doesn't. It's just why. Yeah. Look, like I wanted the earth to just open and swallow you. My whole theatre career, I think 2 incidents like that happened. The first one was in the trial of Kwame Nkrumah, which was a play.
Yeah.
And all I could remember was my sister. I said it like 5 times. Oh, my sister. Hey, my sister.
My sister.
My sister. All because the line has flew.
Yeah.
Good. I've always wondered, you know, that we use theatre. I mean, University of Ghana, we have theatre for development, but I don't see the country taking advantage of that to educate people or to address certain issues.
We don't have value for anything we have in this country. Didn't we? And this is not political.
Yeah.
But to situate this question in context, I was not one of the people who was happy about going to meet Indian artists.
Kukumbaga people.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. You mentioned it. I just didn't want to say what, you know.
Yeah.
So if a foreign artist was coming here, we'll be all over them. We are ready to roll the red carpet for them. And then you see me and you want to diminish me. And then you think that I received it with passion. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. So we are not harnessing the opportunities that we have. And we used to do that. Send your girl child to school. Mama send her to school.
Yeah.
Do you see what it did to the revolution of having young girls and women go to school?
Yeah.
It did the
girl
work.
child education.
Hi-ha-ho. Do you remember hi-ha-ho?
No.
It was we used it to talk about malaria. Look, even the UN agencies, when they if they wanted to educate people on something, it's theatre they use.
I remember the one Tatakwashid did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We used to do that. What happened to us? What happened to us?
We'll come back to what happened to us, and you have the privilege to be in a high office, so we'll be looking at that as well. This is the Upside Down Show. Our guest today is the Honorable Dzifa Abla Gomashie. We'll be right back after this break.
City TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV, access City TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV on your television. City TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and Star Times box. City TV, it's your world.
Welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show on City TV. We're having an interesting conversation with our mother.
Yes.
You guys are home watching us. We are also home in the studio. It feels like an evening by the fireside.
Except that there's no food on the table.
Yeah. Well, we have some juice. This is from the juice guy.
Thank
It's
the
all
Queen is
natural.
coming. We should have some like that. What you say? Dzifa, we're talking about using theatre, to educate ourselves, to address some of the social issues that we have. Now, apart from that, I also, for instance, in School of Performing Arts, we have, I'm passionate about it because that is where I'm coming from, and I strongly love the arts as well. So why don't we, for instance, the productions that we have, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, why are we not really creating something bigger, something of a national value, about this. For instance, maybe taking some of the very good ones to the National Theatre, opening it up for people to see, to know what is also going on.
So there are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides to this question. One is the industry players understand that it is doable.
Okay, yeah.
2 is those who take the decision of making it happen don't get us.
Okay.
3 is it's capital intensive.
Yeah.
Who is willing to put the money in there to make it happen? 4 is people who sit around the table where productions are discussed either didn't come through the School of Performing Arts, or they came through, but the owners of the media houses don't understand why they need to put money in there. So they'll rather go and purchase all these cheaper versions of what we should do, and they get away with it, and they make their money and their content. So there are business people who have the access to the cash, and the artists who don't have access to the cash.
Yeah.
So there's a disconnect.
Right.
And the state itself perhaps is not looking deep enough and ready to understand what we are telling them. Look, I just recently had this conversation with Umar Usanda, and I said, even at the citadel of education, the attitude towards those of us down there at the school, at the university, down there meaning location-wise, the Great Hall is up there. Then you are coming down, and then we are at the gate.
Next to Bush Canteen.
Yeah, so in everybody's mind, we are down there.
Yeah.
That attitude is towards us. If it was the reverse, where we appreciate that, what can bring this country money is sustainable is not to sell the lands for people to come and take the gold and go.
Yeah.
But it's to give opportunity to the creative artists, because we can employ a whole range of people in this sector if it's doing well.
True. Yeah.
When other countries understand and they're doing well, we are happy to refer to them, and their GDP is so and so. That's when the economics brought and with so much passion.
Yeah.
But why is it not reflecting? You cannot talk about the US and their economy without the creative arts industry and what it brings. You can't talk about Nigerian economy and not talk about the creative industry and what it's bringing.
India.
So what should I say again? So the people who are talking economics, you just too poor. Don't come and be attacking me on this, because I shall face you squarely.
They know.
The point is, you'd all just go and study all these things in all these fanciful universities around the world and here in Ghana, and I think you're just regurgitating what you learned, but I need you to situate it within a peculiar context, and understand that you are not producing cars, you are not producing aircrafts, but you are producing human resource that's so valuable. Who can, if you invest in a sector, you can reap that money.
True.
I don't know why it's so difficult for people who take the decisions to understand this.
So in recent times, we've had you being a minister, a deputy minister, in tourism, and you are an industry person. And currently we have Mark also there, who is also an industry person. Do you think that we are beginning to see some kind of change in this, or is nothing?
Well, it's good, but it's a token. And deputy minister, you don't take the decision.
Right.
And I'm wishing Mark well. You don't take the decision, and it doesn't matter if what you're saying is what should be done.
And you're saying Nana.
But what I'm saying is that this whole industry, one person gets to sit in a deputy minister position, and you think they can change what? No. It's an institutionalized problem of not placing value on the sector.
Yeah.
It's an institutionalized one, so it's not about an individual going to sit there. In any case, and I ask this, when did we have a ministry that had creative arts in there? There was Ministry of, it was a Commission on Culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
That mothered us. Then there was creative culture and culture and chieftaincy.
Yes. Yeah.
That also took us. In President Rawlings's time, it was education, it was information, it was communication. We were just all over the place.
Yeah.
So it is only in 2013, under President John Dramani Mahama Bole Jatta, that we had a ministry through an executive instrument that gave us tourism, culture, and creative arts. We didn't have it. So if you create a new ministry, it has to operate within a legal framework. That doesn't happen because the minister herself was a lawyer. Because she's not the lawyer of the state. The state has a lawyer, which is the Attorney General.
Yeah.
So every new ministry or new agency or realigned or whatever thing you create, if you want a law for that thing to function, it can only happen after you have done your homework and you send it to the Attorney General. They too must go through it and say the state can do this. Then they too will give it to you. Then you send it to the Parliament. They must also agree that yes, it should be done. That's a long process.
Right.
But I'm saying that it's a good step.
Yeah.
So now we have that. And then we have the Creative Arts Bill, we have the Film Bill, but it's not all done yet. It's a good step. And I keep saying to Mark, I said, we have laid the foundation. Now let's see what you can do with that foundation. Go and build upon it. In addition to those legal frameworks that we did, was also the push for us to have the international organizations and institutions that shepherd the creative arts.
Right.
And UNESCO is one of them. Other UN agencies also play a role. But in the UNESCO body, they have conventions, which we can benefit from as creative artists. So we were part of our mandate in the short term by President John Dramani Mahama was to ensure that we had made those conventions get a life, which is to ratify them.
Yeah.
So we traveled, met them, Parliament, explaining, and each of them you have to make the committees understand it. And then they can go and speak on it for us on the floor. At the time, neither the minister nor I were members of Parliament. So we just go and meet the committee and get them to do it. Eventually, I think it was 2015, we were able to ratify the 7 UNESCO conventions that directly will benefit us as creative artists.
Wow.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
So now, for example, the closest one would be the Convention on Intangible and Tangible Cultural Heritage. That one, anytime there's any proper document so presented to UNESCO, I'm sure we can get some funding. So once we did all of that, if we had been in power, we would have, But 4 years, Mark, I'm waiting for you and so Christopher.
But you see, that's the thing. Obviously, there's that bridge between the arts itself, the creatives, policymakers, investors. There's that bridge. But then we also want to look at the policies that transcend the political parties. Just like he said, you did some fine work. Has all this been passed on? And what is the hope that the current administration will follow through?
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like now.
But we don't leave. When Elizabeth Ofoso-Jare and I were leaving, what did we take away? Nothing.
Exactly.
In fact, the ministry cries, I'm going to make a Ketu South.
Anyway, Uncle Jay.
I've been trying. Kamashima, I've been trying. Now the market, then maybe it will happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's some small money they should have given me.
You can't let it go. You can't let it go.
So we didn't leave with anything. The ministry is still there. The documents are there. What we did is available. So if they are minded to take advantage of it, it will benefit all of us. Yeah. But you see, I think that the problem for me is for us to leave the space of advocacy and lobbying to be wasted. I don't think that we are pushing hard enough. If you don't understand and you're in the industry, if those who understand want to do it, just give your energy to them.
Yeah.
You know, look, I don't take credit for all the work that we did. No, not at all. But before the ministry was set up, there were people who were doing the work for us.
Yeah.
People who were there before you and I even decided that we want to be creative artists.
Yeah.
And these people, we have intellectuals amongst them. We have consultants among them, advocates amongst them. Why are we not allowing them to direct and give energy?
Isn't it because we are looking at everything through the lens of politics?
Yeah, exactly.
It's either NPP, NDC, so whatever NDC is coming with, we won't take. So what should we do, Anjifa? What should we do? Because you have been at all the places.
Been in both
you
spaces,
are a politician, you are also in the industry. So sometimes when we have to cry on people, you are one of the few people that we can come to. How do we turn things around?
Well,
you're also a traditional leader.
Well, I've been committed to this cause, and now she wants to hold me to ransom. She has to bring in the Gomashie.
Maybe because you are
to come and try intimidate me.
You are Ghana, because you are in the arts, you are in politics, you are in traditional leadership.
Exactly, yeah.
And we don't have many of your kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's why I get my name of being difficult, because I do understand that we can't change the story.
That's true.
But people just don't want to put their minds to what you're saying and come along. If and your observation is not wrong that we like to push them into political spaces. But I'm saying, those who know that indeed this industry holds the key. In fact, in our current situation, it's probably the only key we have to changing the narrative of our destiny as a people. When are we going to start producing cars? It's not like in the next 30 years.
Yeah.
Because the steps you have to take to do that, you're not doing them. But at least, if our festivals are well packaged, properly done, it will bring revenue.
Yeah.
Why do foreigners come here? What are they coming to do?
Yeah.
If it's not about us.
Yeah.
Are they coming to now learn how to make... What are they coming to learn from us? Ona, Sanima face careful, what face study? Sanima face study.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm saying that it is what you have that you build on, not what someone else has. I'm just so tired of hearing people talk about what others are doing. When are we going to talk about what we can do? And what do we have? Go do nothing. That was in a boy. So what is left is the cultural, the other aspect, the performing arts part of our culture.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it is a product that is sellable.
True. I agree.
So those who understand, allow the people to help us. So we have, for example, the civil society-based organization called Ghana Culture Forum, which Antesi Sutherland and Akunu Dake were conveners of.
Okay.
Kokwa Matefio was a part of. Pajon Bentifi Datsun was a part of it. So these people have been doing something in the creative arts forever. And if they are saying that, if we do this, we could do that. We paint it with political thing, and then you know, but thankfully, recently, they I think about 2 or 3 years ago, there was an election, so somebody won, whose name has slipped my mind, forgive me. So we have some form of elected positions there. They are pushing stuff. Those whose party is in power and are creative artists, I'm challenging you. Put the fire to your own feet as you did to me. And get the industry up.
Yeah.
Get those people around the table. Let's put something down. What was being done before? Continue. It's not going to sit on radio and on television and run me down. What's that going to do to this industry?
Yeah.
Is that what to take it out of where it is right now?
No.
Focus on stop majoring on the minors.
Yeah.
Stop majoring on the minors.
And major on the major.
Major on the major. Those human resources, they are still there for the industry.
Yeah.
If you are speaking as politicians and your party people are not listening, why don't you use the experts? Because as for this country, we like experts too. And Chenya are calling
experts and analysts.
But we have local ones. Let's have the local people.
Yeah.
Go and speak on our behalf. And let the politicians not listen. At least we tried and they didn't listen. But this gap now, I don't know what you think I can do, Frima. Right now, my focus is Ketu South. Hey, I'm a parliament for Ketu South.
But I think that, you know, Ketu South also had, you know, some time ago wanted to come and do even youth talk.
Yes.
You know, that the COVID came and everything is basa. You know, but we'll still come. Yeah, we'll still come. But I think that, you know, people like you have the voice. You understand? Wherever I stand and I hear you talk, I pause and listen because I know where you are coming from, and I think sometimes too the background is very, very necessary.
It is.
And
it is.
I guess that is how come in the past, you know, maybe the Ministry of Tourism trying to push the creative arts has not yielded much of some fruits because we did not have people on the ground to be there. And so when I had you be a deputy minister of tourism, I was like, women are multi because if I come to you, and I remember when you were a minister, I came there, you know, with proposals and stuff like that. I came to you directly because I felt you would understand where I was coming from rather than just a politician, you know.
Yourself,
exactly. So I think that maybe we can start from Ketu South, you know, with certain things that you are doing. We come there, you know, if you call us, we will come. You give us, something beautiful, spectacular to see. We carry it. You can be the model, you know, and start doing certain things. We will support. People who, want to support can also do that. And I think now, because of social media, it's not just an issue of saying something to the younger generation and then they buy it. Because we will compare and we will challenge you. And I think that's how come we have all this fix the country stuff going on. So because Dzifa, with everything that you know, you can't just let it go. And it can't also
let me go and go where? I'm not even going anywhere because I can't go and learn how to be a nurse now.
Exactly.
I can't learn how to be a classroom teacher.
No, I'm saying let it go because exactly. For instance, with By the Fireside, you know, up to today, we
don't know if it's coming back or
it has to come back.
No, Mrs. Rollins tried to bring it back in, but no, let me not take. Are you? May I?
No, so I was saying that there are certain things that you do that legacy will forever be with us, and one of such things is By the Fireside.
You know, we tried to bring By the Fireside back, but funding was always a problem. In Ghana, companies that even produce children's things, and I won't name them today to shame them, but you know yourselves, companies and products that are meant for children. You are doing a children's program. You go to them for sponsorship. They won't give it to you. They won't give it to you. It is the most difficult thing I've done as a producer. Looking for sponsorship for children's programs. It is a nightmare.
Wow.
In 2005, when Mrs. Rollins said we should try and bring it back, we tried. But who was willing to put their monies behind it? Who was willing to put their money? It is not because the program, we don't know the value of that program and what it did to the psyche of your generation.
Exactly,
But again, we know what is good. we have it. Those who have the money to put behind it,
You're doing something else. But you said now your focus is Ketu South. So we are just about going. I mean, when you say with Dzifa, you can talk for hours,
I don't think we have
days.
enough time to
No,
do
we
this.
can't.
Or maybe
we
we should serialize it.
No, but
we'll do a
before,
season 2 later.
but
But let's go to Ketu South before we go.
Yeah.
How's it been? It's been what, 6 months as an MP?
Well, this is the seventh month.
Yeah.
July is the 7th month, the month of my birth.
Oh, wow. When is your birthday?
Just past Sunday.
Oh,
belated
happy
one.
belated birthday.
Well, thank you.
Let's do party.
No. President Nanado has put a ban on parties.
Private.
Wow.
Or not. Or
He
not
said
so.
Jabe says he will stop public parties, he will stop private parties.
I'm on his team.
I believe in that, private parties.
Private parties, yeah.
No, Ketu South is it's a formidable community. We've recently been struck with some kind of devastation.
Yeah.
Some natural, force majeure, some politically,
Indeed.
some also COVID or health related. But it's hit us really, really hard. You know, the major economic activity in Ketu South is agric-based, and also the border, you know, ability to cross.
Yeah.
No, in a day, if you don't have anything, just cross that border and come back. You come home with something.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be yours. What I mean by that is the traders who come and purchase. The kaya we do in our place is called a karaka or batachola.
Okay.
So when the people are moving to buy, you have opportunity to help them carry the things. You earn something.
Yeah.
And the borders have been closed because of COVID. And it's 1 year, 4 months now. It's been really tough on the people. And then the sea defense has not been done. So the tidal waves have struck us twice already this year, taking people's homes and livelihoods away from them. And then recently, the Minister for Fisheries too has come and locked the rest of the sea.
Literally.
Well, I mean, literally,
looking for the key to the padlock.
No, there was a key, but there was no lock.
Well, it was all there. So it's been pretty hard, but they're resilient people. You know, my stock. We don't give up easily.
Exactly, yeah.
We're resilient people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not been easy for Ketu South, and I must say most of the border communities in the country are struggling, and Elubo and Aflau being the most hardly hit, because that's where the activities really, you know, and the uniqueness of our border and our community is that it's a town that's very close to a capital city of another country. It's very unique in that sense. Like there are people whose homes, your head can be in a flower, your feet is in Togo.
Ghana.
Yeah, there are homes like that.
Okay,
So yeah, like back in the day, if I stand at the Beats 9 junction, where the immigration post is, if I called my aunt, she could hear me.
Oh,
and her house is across the barbed wire. Yes.
Yeah, you could actually be in Ghana with your shadow in Togo.
Yes. And so there's a funeral going on in Togo, and the Ghanaian side. If you don't want to cross, you can just be by the barbed wire. If it's close by, can be there and be a part of it. Somebody sent me a picture of one recently like that.
Wow.
So what has happened to us with the artificial boundaries and also the political boundaries, and now this COVID to have all taken a heavy toll on us, and we are still looking forward to some kind of intervention, social intervention, package specifically for the border communities across the country who are going through this. So there's the one in the northern region, part of Volta region, western region, and so on. So it has not been easy, but we are very hopeful too that things will see a brighter day soon.
Absolutely.
But Right now, what I need from you people is to use your opportunities to help me build a library.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I need libraries.
Okay.
We have land, so help us build libraries.
Wow.
And that doesn't have to be the state only. I mean,
it's doable.
Yeah.
Goodwill can
It's doable.
be. It's doable.
There are a number of people who are like doing some of these projects.
The Libraries Without Borders people. And
So I need to have these young people reading and nourishing their brain. It will affect them academically and also broaden their horizon for them to see the world in which they are growing up, what has been done before, what can happen, so they are prepared for life.
I mean, if you have an MP like this, what else, We have to come and visit you in Ketu South.
I'm waiting. Parliament to rise in August, middle of August, Parliament to rise.
Yeah.
And that's a good time to come and visit.
We will.
Maybe we'll take the leave around that time and then we'll go
Yes,
to
of
Ketu
course.
South.
Yes, we will.
Who is your boss?
Samens, yes.
All correct, sir. My own brother Samens.
Yes, he understands the art very well.
And my junior brother Bernard.
Yes.
And your nephew Umaru Sanda.
Oh my Lord! I mean, it's a family house.
This is home.
Yeah.
So I mean, Dzifa, it's been awesome. I mean, some of us you might not know, but you are a mentor to us, and I think that for me, that directly, indirectly, you are my mentor. Because I take so much from you, and also especially the fact that I am also in the arts, coming, and it gave us so much hope that, okay, so it's not like you're just sitting there drumming and dancing, and singing. We can actually be policymakers,
Exactly,
we can really effect change in society. And so I really believe that was a really big step, and a great motivation for all of us. Thank you very much.
President Namado Kahubio.
And
some comments he made about Mami Dokno when she wanted to contest. It paid me off.
Yeah.
So I decided that I want to take this challenge.
Yes.
That's Donald Trump's story as well. So. That's Donald Trump's story as well.
Well,
there was a comment at a particular dinner that sparked his interest in becoming president.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to associate with him though.
So, and I think that you really challenged the status quo.
Yeah.
And I mean, you are such a legend, and we love you. And I love the fact that we are celebrating you whilst you are alive. And thank you very much, and congratulations. We always know that you make us proud.
I'll try.
It's been an awesome conversation. I'm sure today you've learned something that you didn't know about the Honorable Dzifa Gomashie. This has been the Upside Down Show. My name is Premier Dunyame.
And mine is Nana Tufo. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you again.